Hello, my name is Elis Adelle. Welcome to the channel. I'm an intuitive tarot card reader and astrologer, and I'm also an evolutionary astrologer, and we're here today to get some messages for you about the Pluto in Aquarius transit. I was feeling really inspired when I was considering the astrology and the importance of this transit. So I'm going to talk a few minutes about the astrology, but if you'd like to just go straight into, if you understand what Pluto in Aquarius means and you're not interested in my perspective, you can jump straight into the piles. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, and pile 5. So Pluto in Aquarius is, Pluto to me as an astrologer really talks about our soul's evolutionary journey that happens through transmutation, alchemy, transformation, death, and rebirth, right? The Plutonian energy is one that gives us huge amounts of personal power, autonomy, spiritual upgrades, and transformation if we are willing to put in the work. And what is that work? That work is shadow work. That work is looking at the self. That work is very connected to the parts of ourselves that are difficult to look at or that we are ashamed of, the wounds and traumas of our past, and the integration and acceptance of all iterations and variations of self, right? So also, transiting Pluto, it shows us what part of our lives we're having a death and rebirth within that area or arena of our lives. So when we look at the birth chart, wherever transiting Pluto is, whatever sign and house Pluto is in, we can understand that for each individual person, it's going to mean something different based on their particular birth chart. So depending on what house your Aquarius, what house is ruled by Aquarius in your birth chart, the way that Pluto is moving through that space is going to be affecting you very differently, especially if it's making any aspects to planets or points that you have in your chart. Okay, if you're interested in an in-depth personal Pluto in Aquarius reading, I am available for deep dives into those, where that's the only thing we look at. I look at your chart as a whole, and I give you my take on what this next 20-year cycle of Pluto in Aquarius means for you, and then we pull cards from your higher self to see what other information we have. But that's basically what we're doing today. This is a general reading, so it won't be as accurate, but I hope that we can bring through some very important information that will help you understand this transit, help you integrate whatever lessons need to be learned, and kickstart the whole process that we're beginning now with Pluto in Aquarius. So with that said, I will see you in your pile. Thanks so much for being here. Sending you love. Okay, pile number 1. I'm very excited to be here with you today. So we're taking a look at what you need to know about Pluto in Aquarius, what this transit means for you, how it's impacting your soul's evolutionary journey, what part of your life you're being asked to step up in a new way. Pluto brings death, rebirth, and alchemy and transformation to wherever he is in our birth chart. So this is going to impact everyone very differently. So we'll see here what it means for you. So I have some tarot cards that I'm going to keep here to the side. We're going to start with Oracle first. So Anunnaki light codes, energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. Arcturian light codes, evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. Wow, very cosmic energy right away. Thief, light attribute, sheds life on potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Shadow attribute, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Gambler, light attribute, willing to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Shadow attribute, relying on luck rather than hard work. And have courage. Oh, let me make sure this is all looking good on camera. Great. So my dear pile number one. First of all, you've got some major cosmic energy coming in here with the Anunnaki light codes and Arcturian light codes. You know, in this deck that these cards came out of, not every card has to do with star races or star beings. These happen to be two of the cards that talk about it. There might be like one or two other cards in a deck of 53 that talks about light beings. And the fact that you got two of these that wanted to come out for you is very telling. It's interesting because it's paired with the Maasai tribe here. So the Maasai are very renowned for their fearless warriors. They are a very ancient tribe in Eastern Africa, I believe, but please don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. And there is something very interesting about the juxtaposition of this very kind of primal, tribal, earthly human energy with the cosmic energy, and it feels like it's part of this riddle. And I feel like that's also pertinent to say that many of these ancient tribes and peoples had awarenesses and connections to star races and star beings. So there's something quite interesting happening here with thief and gambler. Willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. That's the light attribute of gambler. Thief sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. So pile number one, what I'm feeling here is that this new evolutionary phase that you are in with Pluto in Aquarius, which makes a lot of sense because Pluto in Aquarius has a lot to do with extraterrestrial energy in life. But what this is about, what this is telling me about, is that this 20-year cycle that we are entering now with Pluto in Aquarius is a death and rebirth of your personal identity and your alignment to your courage and your intuition to perhaps stand out from the crowd, to do things differently, and to embody more of this high vibrational kind of cosmic energy. You may be someone who begins to work with guides from other realms and dimensions. You may begin the process of remembering your own past lives in these different realms. You may have connections, ancestral connections to these light beings. It feels like the riddle, it's a riddle. This next 20-year cycle is a riddle, right? It's something that's going to be an ever unfolding mystery where you're getting deeper and deeper into your intuition. Because with this card here with have courage, it feels like it's the courage to follow your intuition, your courage to gamble and to follow your intuition even when others doubt you, for you to do the thing that other people would look at and say, oh man, that's like a big risk, or I don't know, that's really weird that they're doing that, or man, I really don't understand what they're doing, but for you to do it anyways, right? So maybe you might start channeling like light language, or you might start actually channeling a higher vibrational being. You might start being able to see and work with your guides, your multidimensional cosmic guides in a much more direct way here. Energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. Evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. Yeah, it feels very Pluto and Aquarius here, all of these energies together. Okay, so I'm asking, what do they need to know about these, about this Pluto and Aquarius transit? They're drawing me to like the beads the tribal beads or the adornments that they're wearing around their necks. So again, this feels very ancestral in a certain kind of way also. You may be called to do some more ancestral digging and healing and understanding the indigenous practices of your ancestors. And by indigenous, I mean anywhere in the world, right? Pre-Christianity, there were indigenous peoples all over the world. Every part of the world had indigenous peoples who had wisdom of the land and the cosmos and the spirits and the gods, and they had this very intricate system all over the world, and this was something that was decimated by Abrahamic religions. So look into the pre-Christian practices and customs of your ancestors, wherever your ancestors are from. There may be clues there about these cosmic connections. And you're going to have to be very courageous. This is going to be very challenging, perhaps. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone. It's going to make you stretch your ego, and get out of your normal day-to-day kind of space. It's going to require you to really step out. So let's take a look at your tarot here. We have Strength in reverse. We have the World reversed. We have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. We have the Hierophant. Four of Pentacles. The High Priestess reversed. Ten of Wands. Ace of Spades. Oh, and I've got two extra here. Let's see. I thought... And with your cards, a lot of cards were wanting to come out. Like usually I try to get one oracle card of each, but two came out for both of you guys. And two extra cards came out because I usually only get 8 for tarot. So very interesting here. A lot of reversals in the first little bit. So this transit is going to require you to forego stability in order to understand your own inner beast, right? So the Strength card, we're in a strength-ruled year, is a card that talks about understanding our shadow, understanding our psyche, understanding our trauma, and learning how to work with that in a very intentional, gentle, and effective way. Learning how to tame and integrate that shadow, dark, not dark, but by dark I mean obscured or difficult to access part of our psyche that is a result of trauma. So I'm hearing forego your stability. So it may be something that requires you again to get out of your comfort zone, to do some different kinds of healing modalities, to stretch yourself beyond your current or past limitations or kind of edges. Stretch yourself past your edges. Like you may be someone who you like talking about spirituality and believing in cosmic beings and all this kind of stuff is something that you're very comfortable doing privately and inside yourself and by yourself, but stretching yourself beyond that to talking about it publicly, to going out and making a kind of name for yourself, or expressing your opinions, or being very kind of using your gifts using your gifts, being seen and known and heard, that might be something else entirely, and it's going to require you to forego your stability and your security and your sense of safety and your anonymity, it seems, right? It seems like you're definitely meant to shine and be seen in some kind of way with this transit. And it's worth noting that we have the strength and the sun, so definitely Leo energy strongly here. We also have the Hierophant, which is Taurus, but in this card, he is depicted as Chiron, so you may be someone with a strong Chiron in your chart. High Priestess, I'm also feeling some Piscean energy here, but I digress. With the World reversed, clarified by the High Priestess reversed, I'm feeling a big sense of reluctancy around your own High Priestess energies, around your own multi-dimensional energies. Let's look back at this Thief energy again. Light attributes. Shed light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Shadow attributes. Stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Or other powers you think you lack. That's what it is. Powers you think you lack. And that's why it's going to require you to have so much courage. Powers you think you lack. So this transit is about you facing this fear of powers you think you lack. Because with this pairing, if it were upright, if it were the High Priestess upright and the World upright, it would be like, man, like you're a fucking star. Like you can, with your intuition, you can take that incredible Saturnian mature energy of the World card. It's the last of the major arcana. It's when we've completed a cycle, when we've reached the full maturation point of a big soul lesson or a big hero's journey. And we are now able to fully manifest and create worlds and create abundance and create whatever we want because we've done the whole spectrum of the lesson. We've reached the end and therefore the new beginning also, but we've reached the point of maturation and the ability to world build, especially in this deck. That's what this card talks to me about, world building. So it's like you have to face the fear of what you think you lack, the power you think you lack to create your own reality, to create your own world, to create your own truth, to create your own abundance. 9 of Pentacles reversed with the 10 of Wands. Maybe you've had some fears around financial blockages or difficulties. Maybe you have fears around how you will be able to provide for yourself if you are very open with your spirituality, if you're very open with your spiritual beliefs, if you actually begin to embody your High Priestess energy. But it's, again, with the 10 of Wands, it's something that, it's a burden that you need to choose to put down, because once you choose to put it down, there's going to be some big, big healing and transformation happening. With the Hierophant in this deck is so special to me because Chiron is very near and dear to my heart. It's an asteroid that I think holds so much wonderful information when it comes to healing. And Chiron teaches us that our biggest wounds are our biggest tools. Chiron teaches us that where we were cut the deepest is also the place from which we can extract the most wisdom, the most knowledge, the most healing, and ultimately the most love, right? It's that whole thing. It's like, you have to use the poison to make the antidote kind of thing. Like you can't make the antidote for something without analyzing and understanding and having the poison, right? The poison is almost always a part of the antidote, a part of the cure. And that's what Chiron teaches us. wherever he is in our birth chart, he teaches us that this wound that we have, that may be ancestral, it may be from early childhood trauma, it may be past lives, it may be a little bit of all three, that we can take this and use it as something powerful for us to become leaders, to become wisdom keepers, to become healers of others. So our wounds are our portals, and your fear of your power, the power you think you lack, your fear of owning your own power, owning your high priestess energy, owning your multidimensionality, owning all of your psychic gifts and abilities, this fear is going to be the thing that you are confronting this Pluto in Aquarius cycle, and you are being called to gain a new perspective and a new way of thinking and seeing about this wound, around this fear. And it's about removing any distorted thought patterns or programs or social conditioning which has made you fear yourself, or think that you lack anything, and think that for whatever reason you might need to copy or borrow or steal or anything like that. With the Sun and the Knight of Cups, it just feels like a very beautiful resolution to this whole process of prosperity, joy, abundance, love, maybe a relationship, okay? And maybe simply also I really see this as like you being yourself and being confident enough to present your heart to the world, to present your soul to the world, to present your gifts. Like I'm seeing this cup and you, like this is you offering your gifts, your abilities, your perspective, your wisdom to the world, and it being accepted and received well and loved, okay? There's a very beautiful, strong message here about understanding that you are one of a kind. You're very cosmically connected. You, again, Anunnaki light codes and Arcturian light codes. So you are someone who is very cosmically connected, and this Pluto in Aquarius 20-year cycle that we're moving into is one of cosmic consciousness, is one of us as humanity remembering that we are not only citizens of the planet Earth, but citizens of the cosmos and of the universe and of a much more diverse and complex higher order of beings, right? And it's this cycle that you're moving into is one where you are going to be innately connected to this new wave of cosmic consciousness that's coming in. You're either going to be a teacher, a leader, a healer, a diviner, a bridge. There's some role that you have to play that has to do with this cosmic consciousness and cosmic awakening that is going to make you seem to some people perhaps a little out there, right? Not everyone is going to be on the level of consciousness necessary to understand the message that you're bringing, but you have to trust that those who will be able to hear your message, those who are aligned to your energy and to the message you're bringing, will be drawn to you, and that you will have something very important for them and to assist them with. Wow, I'm really loving this energy pile one. You guys are pretty badass, if I do say so myself. And also, another message that's coming through here is discernment. That's going to be another big lesson during this Pluto in Aquarius transit for you, is spiritual discernment between, like, if you, for example, are a channel, you have to be able to identify who are you channeling, what messages are you bringing through, and where are they coming from, right? Things like that, like being able to discern what is true light and what is false light, being able to discern what is love and what is desire for power, and to be very aware that with the thief energy that came up, to be very aware that there are many spiritual forces that are not interested in love, they are interested in power. And they will present themselves in such a way as they appear to be concerned with love, or they appear to be speaking about light and awareness and consciousness and these beautiful things. But truly what they want is power, either over you or over others, power in general, and control and influence, right? Because ultimately that's really what it's about. It's like our consciousness is power, and when an entity or a group or a being or something has a hold of our consciousness, has a hold of our awareness, has a hold of our mind and what we believe, it gives them power. It gives them spiritual power. So to be, during this process, to be very discerning and mindful of if the energies and entities you're connecting with are attuned to love and are attuned to the natural, organic evolution of the planet and of the cosmos. That's something that's coming through very strongly, that you need to be very aware of and discerning throughout this process, pile one. There's also something coming through about community or structures that are going to be coming in for you during this time, which makes sense with Pluto in Aquarius. But you may be drawn to live in communities with people that are different, or something about an actual living space, the housing. There's going to be something happening here with that. And also making sure you're staying grounded. Because you are so connected to this high vibrational cosmic energy, it's very important that you maintain your humanness, your earthliness, your tribalness, your innate kind of not savage, but like human. You know, you need to have sex and eat food and sleep and shit and fart and like all these other human things that we innately do as human beings on this planet. You need to be very connected to your physical body, to your sensuality, to your senses, and to the here and now. Make sure that you stay grounded, because you being so high vibrationally, cosmically connected, the importance of you being able to carry that energy, to hold it in your physical vessel, is of the utmost importance. And that's going to require a lot of grounding practices, a lot of, you know, getting your feet in the mud kind of thing, getting your bare feet on the dirt, spending time in the garden. Just being in nature is going to be very helpful and beneficial for you, so that you can anchor in these energies, this truth and this awareness that is going to be coming through you. Okay, pile number one, I'm feeling that we're coming to an end. Is there anything else that pile number one needs to know, please? Make sure your physical vessel stays strong too. Make sure that you stay strong. Make sure you're exercising. Make sure you're sleeping well. Make sure you're eating well. You cannot be overstated with someone like you who's going to be engaging with your upper chakras and this high energy coming in through your head. That the rest of your body, neck down, needs to be really strong, needs to be really solid, needs to be well hydrated, well fed, well slept, all of these things. Okay, this is going to be so vital for you in this cycle. So take care of your body. Don't get seduced by the cosmic, you know, all the cosmic connections that you're making, and just say, oh, forget the physical body, I don't need it. It doesn't even matter. Yes, it does. It matters, in fact, very much. That's exactly what makes this evolutionary phase of Pluto in Aquarius different from previous cosmic phases in evolution of humanity, is that we are now in balance with Mother Earth, with our bodies, and with the physical realities of being human, as well as integrating that high vibrational cosmic energy. Whew. All right. So at this time, I'm going to end out this reading with so much love and gratitude. Pile number 1, you are just incredible. I'm so grateful to have you here on the channel. It's been an honor and a blessing to read for a soul like you. I hope that this reading was helpful for you. I hope it gave you something you didn't have before. If this was resonant for you, please consider giving the video a like and perhaps a subscribe if you want to get more content like this in the future. And yeah, that's it. Sending you so much love. Pile number 1. Hello, pile number 2. If you were attracted to this unseen card, then this is your reading for what this Pluto in Aquarius transit means for you. So we have some oracle cards here first that we're going to look at, and then some tarot. So I'm going to put this to the side. Connecting the dots. Something about connecting the dots. This card is a card that obviously talks about the unseen realms, the invisible realms, the multidimensional realms, which we are constantly engaging with and interacting with, whether we know it or not. So something about connecting the dots. Let's see. Freedom. Magic. Karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth, go after your goals, persist, encourage, advance, and nature spirits. Wow. Beautiful. Okay, so my pile number 2's, you're a very spiritual person, whether you know it or not. Let me make sure this is all on camera. Yes. You're a very spiritual person, whether you know it or not. I think most of you know it. If you're here, if you're attracted to my work, if you've resonated, if this reading has found you, it's because you're on a spiritual path. You're on a path of finding your essence. And this Pluto in Aquarius transit is going to be very much about your light body. I'm getting drawn to the way that this energy here, it's about an activation of your light body, an activation of you in the unseen realms, the parts of you that are going to be gaining more freedom, that are going to be tapping in deeper to your magic, that's going to be going to a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of expression, a more fine-tuned spiritual energy. That's going to be very much connected to not only the unseen realms, but also our physical, natural realms, right? With nature, spirits, and moonlight enchantment magic. Both of these cards talk to me a lot about earth magic, about being very connected to the planet, to the moon, to the natural cycles here that we experience on this earth, and that can only be experienced in this 3D physical reality. And I think there's something here about the consolidation of the spirit, the unseen and the seen, where you're coming into a deeper awareness about your capacity to elevate your spiritual energy is deeply intertwined with your capacity to engage with the physical reality, to go after your goals, to seek connection to the natural landscape around you, and to seek freedom from any kind of constraining narratives, stories, or ways of being that are not resonant, helpful, that are not yours. Connecting the dots, what was that about? Okay, so there's going to be like this whole transit that Pluto is in Aquarius is going to be connecting dots over the years, where you are going to be going deeper and deeper into your spiritual path. You might have an Aquarius ruled, your house in your birth chart that's ruled by Aquarius might be the 12th house. That's just something I'm getting with the unseen here, as the 12th house to me is one of the houses primarily that deals with the unseen realms. Could be the 8th or the 4th house as well. We have 25 and 13. 25 reduces to a 7. 13 reduces to a 4. Stability and spirituality. Yeah, there's something about stability and spirituality. Like, you're going to be creating stability for yourself in the physical realms by freeing yourself energetically, emotionally, and physically from things that no longer serve you, and by aligning deeper and deeper to the natural world around you. But it's going to require you to work hard, you know? It's going to require you to maybe go to some kind of a battle in some way, maybe against your ego, maybe against others who would like to keep you in a certain state. Let's see what your tarot cards have to say. Ooh, we have the Devil reversed, the 7 of Cups, the King of Cups, the 2 of Spades reversed, Judgment, 10 of Cups reversed, the Magician reversed, and the King of Pentacles. Yeah, so with this karmic board clearing, it's echoed here with the Devil reversed and Judgment. There's going to be some big karmic clearing with this transit for you. Some big unlearning, undoing, releasing of self-sabotage, of fear-based mentalities, or of anything that keeps you in cycles of pain. Any kind of cyclical pain that has been happening in your life is being released at this time, and will be continue to be released at deeper and deeper levels. With connecting the dots, it's like, I feel like, you know how in those connect the dot drawings, when you see all of those dots without the lines drawn through them, it just looks like a jumbled mess. I feel like throughout this transit, you're gonna be slowly but surely connecting all the dots until you can see the picture and it's gonna make sense. And then you'll be able to, in hindsight, understand your suffering, understand why certain cycles had to be the way they were, understand why you had certain behaviors or patterns, right? And it's going to be a time of you really considering all of your options and no longer settling for something that feels like it's almost good enough but not quite. The 10 of Cups reversed with the 7 of Cups is speaking to me about you considering your choices, you understanding that you have choices, and you understanding that you don't need to settle for something that seems good just because you're afraid that there's nothing better out there. Like, it's like settling for it's like you're not going to be settling for anything anymore. You're not going to be settling for something that feels almost right. You're going to be moving beyond that, and I'm really being drawn to the infinity symbol here, and it's the highest cup. Like, you're going to be choosing the highest path. You're going to be choosing the most aligned path, the most spiritually resonant and energetically resonant path. You're not going to be spending time distracting yourself with things that feel almost good, or you're not going to be settling for situations where you kind of have to fake happiness, or where you have to convince yourself of staying, whether this is like a job or a relationship or whatever it may be. hearing unlocking your magic, blooming. This is going to be a transit where you're surrounded by a lot of spiritual support. With the King of Cups and the Magician reversed, I think you're going to be really tapping into your emotional sovereignty and emotional maturity, where you're really understanding your own strength and your own sovereignty and spiritual power. The Triton is standing out to me, so that might be a symbol. I don't know what that means, but you might want to look up the spiritual significance or meaning or symbology of the Triton. That might have a message for you. That's also like Neptune, right? So the Neptunian energy is, again, the 12th house, the unseen, the spiritual, the dissolution of ego and alignment to our to source within us and to our higher selves, which is inherently also part of God or the universe or source or whatever word you want to use for it. I really feel that you're going on quite a transcendental and purifying path, pile 2. And you chose pile 2. Pile 2 has a lot to do with balance. Balance, right? The number 2. Balance, harmony, equilibrium. And I believe that once you master your King of Cups energy, where you are very emotionally sovereign and mature, where you've done this karmic clearing and where you've learned to not settle for anything emotionally, to not settle for anything that doesn't feel like it's really true and resonant and 100%, not 100%, because we can never be 100%, right? But where it's like, you won't be settling for anything. That's the word. You won't settle for anything. Once you've learned the karmic lessons and done the clearing of the painful loops, and you've learned not to settle, and you've learned to honor all of your options and choose what's best for you, then you're going to be tapping in and unlocking more of your emotional sovereignty and maturity. And you're going to be able to manifest a lot more. You're going to be unlocking your magician energy, where you're going to be able to use your innately magical powers to manifest and draw in whatever it is that you want. And you're going to also be learning about spiritual sight, trusting your spiritual sight, trusting your intuition, trusting your ability to discern what is what. This King of Pentacles energy is a card that often talks to me about, in this particular deck, talks to me some kind of a spiritual energy, maybe a elemental energy, but some kind of a spiritual energy that often is, as you can see in this card, this King of Pentacles, he's not the most friendly looking guy. He's kind of a interesting character, a little intimidating, doesn't look like someone that you would feel very comfortable around, right? And this often speaks to me about spiritual energies that are in the same way, perhaps intimidating to look at or to perceive. And paired with this Two of Swords reversed, I think you're going to be honing your spiritual sight or your spiritual sensitivity, your ability to perceive these energies, and learning about spiritual discernment, and learning that just because something may be frightening doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, quote bad, and just because something might be spiritually beautiful or bright or light doesn't mean it's necessarily, quote, good, right? You're going to be learning about the polarities of good, bad, or good and evil, and understanding spiritual discernment when it comes to perceiving and engaging with the unseen realms. I see also a family coming in for you during this transit, whether that's a chosen family or a partner and actually having children. I think you're going to be drawing in a family. I think that's going to be part of your highest path. And I think you're going to be learning that. I'm also feeling a strong sacral energy. So I think that there's going to be activation, or there is currently happening activation in your sacral, which is connected to your third eye also. This is something that the sacral and the third eye have a very important connection to one another. That if your sacral chakra is not well balanced and the waters are not flowing and open and your creativity isn't in balance, your sexuality isn't in balance and in harmony, then your third eye necessarily can't be well balanced either. They are connected to each other. So I think you're working on your sacral first, so then your third eye can begin to be more developed and open and perceptive. Yeah, your inner fire, your inner flame, your inner creativity, your inner life force energy is just going to be under a huge ramp up and a huge transformation. Huge transformation. Pile 2. A message that's coming through is also count your blessings. It's important for you to count your blessings during this time. You're going to be going through a time where you're connecting all these dots, you're doing all this spiritual work and evolution and growth. It's important not to lose sight of what blessings you already do have, the things that are going well in your life, the abundance that is already present. Don't forget this, okay? Is there anything else here from our pile number 2s? Make sure you're really connecting with these nature spirits, that you're going outside, that you're spending time in nature. Find a power place in nature that you can connect to and return to this place always. Maybe bring some offerings. There are nature spirits that want to work with you and support you throughout this process, and this is going to be very important for you during this next cycle with Pluto in Aquarius, okay? All right, my pile number 2s, I think that's it for you today. Best of luck. I hope that this reading was helpful for you. I hope it gave you something you did not have before. I am so grateful that you made it all the way to the end here of this reading. If this reading was resonant and helpful for you, consider giving this video a like or a subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Sending you so much love, pile number 2s. Hello, pile number 3. If you were drawn to this animal card, this is your reading for what does the Pluto in Aquarius transit mean for you. I've got some oracle cards and some tarot. We're going to look at your oracle first. So while I was shuffling and tapping into your energy, I heard 5th house. So this Pluto in Aquarius transit might be in your 5th house, but it doesn't have to be. Have courage, strength, fearlessness, warrior. Focus on children, pregnancy, birth, adoption. That's a beautiful confirmation for the 5th house, as the 5th house does rule children and creative projects and the inner child. So thank you. Samaritan. Light attribute. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer ignore. Shadow attribute, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Guide, represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Shadow attribute, places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Uncertainty and growth. See how we're going to do this. Okay. Pile number 3. So pile number 3, I feel like you're currently in kind of like a void state or a searching state of some kind. A void state or a searching state. The animal card that you were drawn to, this is a card that talks about our primal energy, right? About our desire to color outside the lines, our desire to run barefoot through the forest, our desire to eat food with our hands, our desire to kind of make a mess of things, or to not necessarily follow a rational, linear path. It's a desire that's more primal, and that I would associate more with like the feminine, dark feminine energy, which is beautifully kind of matched with the color scheme here that you have going on. These cards are very dark and earthy. You've got beautiful people, dark-skinned people here representing that dark energy. And when I say dark, I don't mean bad or evil. What I mean is yin. What I mean is receptive. What I mean is when we look at the night sky, we see the stars, and what is holding the stars? It's that dark energy, it's that great mystery, it's that wildness, it's that unknown, right? When we look at the night sky, the stars are held by all that darkness that we don't know what that is, we don't understand it. It's something that kind of transcends time and space in the way that we as humans perceive it and experience it. That dark matter, that dark stuff in space is the womb, the cosmic womb that holds everything. And I'm feeling that for you, pile number 3, this transit is going to be very much about you tapping into that dark, divine feminine energy in a way that is more like tangible in your real life. And for some of you, this may be a time where you're literally birthing children, but for many of you, it may also be about birthing projects, birthing projects that may have something to do with this divine feminine energy, and being a guide or a Samaritan where you're helping people. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. You may be in a position where you're stepping into a role as like a teacher or a guide or some kind of a spiritual healer in some kind of a way, where you're helping other people tap into their own dark energy, their own inner animal. And the importance of that animal energy when we are on a spiritual path is paramount. You know, a lot of people are loving and lighting it up, but unless we look at our inner animal, unless we're willing to look at our shadow, at our primal desires, at our sexuality, at our carnal needs, and expressing those and unearthing them and understanding where they come from and why they're there, right? That all requires a level of spiritual maturity that is very important to explore and to have on your path, right? It's not just about transcending all emotions and getting to some high vibe, high frequency state where you don't feel any negative emotions or you don't have any desires or disappointments. Like that's something that's not actually helpful. And this is going to be something that requires you to be very courageous, for you to be very brave, for you to follow an uncertain path. You're probably a way shower in some kind of a way. You're leading the way. You're a leader. Pile number 3, you're a leader. You're leading people with bravery into this animal energy. And first, you've got to do it yourself, right? (43, 44). Look at that. Number 43 and number 44. So that's progress. Forward progress, step by step. So uncertainty and growth, one step at a time. You just have to trust yourself and your intuition and your inner guidance system to take one step at a time. Don't worry too much about how you're going to get to your big goal up ahead, or even don't worry about if you don't even have a big goal and you're not really sure where it is that you're going. Just keep asking your higher self to show you the next step. And just keep taking the next step on the path. And that's going to give you the information that you need to keep moving forward. We have orange and this like indigo kind of color, which is the sacral and the third eye, which are innately connected. I love that also, which really talks to me also about this animal energy that leads to that spiritual awareness and attainment. I love this. So let's see what else your tarot cards are going to reveal. 5 of Pentacles reversed, the Hierophant reversed, the Star reversed, the King of Wands reversed, the Knight of Wands, the King of Swords reversed, the Queen of Cups, the 7 of Swords, and the 6 of Pentacles reversed. Wow, so many reversals. How interesting. You know what's really standing out to me is that the 3 that are upright is the Queen of Cups, the 7 of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. With the Hierophant and the King of Swords reversed, what I'm seeing here is like a dismantling of the patriarchy, dismantling of overly masculine, overly light or young energies, overly love and light, spiritual bypassing, not integrated with the emotional, physical, carnal, human part of us, right? What I'm seeing here is with these 2 reversed, it's like, I think that this cycle is going to be one where you're challenging the certain kind of paradigms within the spiritual community, within the New Age community, within religious communities. You're going to be challenging that and bringing forth this divine, dark, feminine energy, this animal energy. And reminding people that we're animals too, that we need the same things that animals need. We need to procreate, we need to eat, we need to, use the bathroom, we need to, we need to do all these animal things just like other animals. And that's just as important and a part of who we are as much as the other parts of our spiritual selves. And it's going to be dismantling this very patriarchal, authoritarian way of spirituality or religion, where it's like only certain elevated, enlightened people know the truth, or only some people can be enlightened, or that only if you're pure enough, or if you're, advanced enough or evolved enough, can you access the highest realms. Like, I think you're here to break that paradigm with this divine feminine energy. You're here to bring help to those in need, to those who are lost, to those who are looking for help. And you have to really be brave in this process, right? With have courage and the guide below these cards, with the 5 of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Wands. It may be something that in the beginning, it's like doesn't bring you a lot of income, or that it may be hard for you to believe that you can generate an income from this. And I think that's going to be one of the things that you have to work on, is any self-limiting beliefs around this aspect of being able to provide for yourself and earn a living. You have to believe that this part of you, this divine feminine animal part of you is just as important as the star aspect of you, right? Is just as important as the cosmic, etheric, light and love part of you. It's like you're stepping into your star energy. By star energy, not like the star card, but like star quality. You're going to be stepping into your full creative potential and power, because we have the Knight of Wands upright. So it's like you're beginning the process, you're beginning your creative process, you're beginning your spiritual and creative self-expression strong, but you need to learn how to finish the process. You need to learn how to finalize. You're stepping into full mastery of your own spiritual energy and power, and of your own authority and ability to command, to lead, to guide, right? And it's going to require you to really step into your star power. You have to believe that you are magnetic, that you are one of a kind, that what you have to offer, that your medicine is worthy, that the medicine you bring is not only worthy, but it's fantastic and it's needed and it's important. And that you were strong enough to hold your own and to defend your perspective and to overcome any obstacles or challenges along the way. But I really see here with the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles reversed, that you are going to have to come across you're going to be coming across perhaps some issues around finances that will have to do with your belief in your own creativity. And remember, fifth house, that was coming through earlier. The fifth house is what I like to call the stage. So it's the part of our chart that shows us where we have a certain creative self-expression that we want to put out to the world to be seen. The fifth house is like the stage where the actor gets on stage to make the performance to be perceived and judged by the audience, right? Or it's like an art gallery. The artist makes art, but then eventually has to have an art show where that art gets hung up in the galleries and people come to see it and judge it and interact with it, right? You're going to be pressing up against feelings perhaps of fear or unworthiness when it comes to presenting your art on the stage or in the art gallery. And by art, I mean anything that you create yourself, anything that comes from your creativity, from your inner fire, anything that you birth from your imagination and from your inner soul wisdom and essence, right? I think the element of water is something that, water and fire are the elements that can be helpful for you along this journey. Yeah, and it's like a big crown and third eye activation that I'm feeling that's going to be happening during this transit for you. And this is, to be fair, this is a 20-year transit, Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is going to be moving into Aquarius resolutely here at the end of 2024 and will stay in Aquarius until 2044. So this is a 20-year cycle of you deepening your spiritual awareness, deepening your ability to express and hold your own, to creatively self-express and show yourself on that metaphorical stage, right? And to overcome any fears that you have around showing yourself or around earning a living from these innate gifts. I'm feeling called to read from the book the uncertainty card here, because I do feel that there will be a fair bit of uncertainty for you along this path. All right, pile 3, found it. So here we go. Thicket of thorns, uncertainty. When we talk about something that is thorny, it means that it is difficult or challenging. If it feels like you're stuck in some area of life, you're right. When you are truly uncertain about what direction to take, be still. Do not struggle to get ahead, as you'll only immerse yourself even deeper in the rares. The first step to move forward is to acknowledge where you are. Instead of asserting that you're not stuck, accept the truth. The universe desires your success. It only requires that you wait until the path is ready for you. Acknowledge the truth of the situation. Wait until you have a clear direction, then slowly and methodically take action. In the fairy tale Sleeping Beauty, an impenetrable thorny hedge surrounds a sleeping princess, the royal family, and everyone in the castle. For 100 years, many princes tried to make their way to her through the thicket, but to no avail. Finally, a prince passed, and the thicket opened for him, so he was able to find the princess with ease. The message here is to trust in divine timing. The prince is triumphant because he appears at the right time. When the time is right, everything falls into place. The spirit of the thicket of thorns says, timing is everything. Let go of the struggle. You'll gain great rewards. And I love this message. I think it's very attuned to that divine feminine dark energy that I was picking up on earlier with the animal. You know, divine feminine energy does not push forward, does not force, does not charge ahead, does not take necessarily even any actionable steps. Feminine energy is the receptive energy. Feminine energy is about that timing and getting into the right energetic frequency and alignment so that things naturally fall into place. And I think that the strong message here is take one step at a time. Remember 43, 44. Don't worry about the long-term goals. Don't worry about the big picture. Just ask for one step at a time. Tap into your higher self, into your inner being, and connect to yourself and ask, what's the next step I need to take? And wait for the answer to come. And when the answer comes, don't try and rush it. Listen to your guidance and take it slowly. Don't force ahead until you're sure about what the next step is. Even if it means that there's long intervals between steps, that's okay. You're still moving forward. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. This work of dismantling the patriarchy, dismantling overly masculine or light or young energies in society and in spiritual spaces, this is like hard work. This is not something that happens overnight. This is a 20-year cycle that you're stepping into, right? And you as a guide, as a spiritual guide for people and as a way shower, this is going to be, because you're going first, because you're leading by example, it means that you're going through uncharted territory. It's like I'm getting the image of when you're walking through a jungle. That's like, if you're walking through a jungle that's like raw jungle, there's someone at the front of the line who's got a machete who's clearing the path. And that person who's clearing the path necessarily has to go a lot slower because they've got to look around, they've got to make sure there aren't any snakes, they've got to watch where they're stepping, they've got to be very aware of their surroundings, and they have to make sure that they are paying attention to where they're going. Otherwise, they could lead the whole trail of people behind them down the wrong path, and that's you, pile number 3. You're clearing the path, you're leading the way, and that means it's going to be slow going sometimes. And that's okay. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or that you're not on your path. All right? That's something very strong that wants to come through for you, is that don't doubt your path or yourself if things are slow going or if it takes some time to see results. This is a natural part of the way showing leader process that you are in. All right, my friend? All right, I'm gonna wrap this up for you. I hope that this reading was helpful for you. I hope that it gave you some guidance or some perspective that you didn't have before. I'm rooting for you, pile number 3. I think you're such a powerful, inspirational person, and I'm so grateful to have had you here on the channel. If this reading was resonant and helpful for you, please consider giving it a like. It helps me understand what kind of content to keep making, and maybe you'll stick around for another reading. Sending you lots of love, pile 3. Hello, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. If you were attracted to this self card, the self, then this is your reading about what the Pluto in Aquarius transit means for you. I've got some oracle cards here, which we'll be looking at first, and then we'll be looking at the tarot. Okay, so let's see here for you. Go after your goals, persist, encourage, advance, be an open channel, mediumship, ancestors, spirits. Venusian Galactic Council, star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. Teacher, light attributes, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. Shadow attributes, manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. Wounded child, light attributes, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. Shadow attributes, blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. Ooh, wow. Pile number 4. Look at you. Look at you, pile number 4. Ooh, wow. Can I just say, thank you for being here on the channel. You are a very, you're like a rainbow soul or a rainbow child. You might identify as being a rainbow child. The rainbow light body also is coming to mind, so it feels like you've been working a lot on your energetic body, your energy body. So this, right off the bat, this transit for you is going to be very powerful. It's going to be about you stepping into your role as a teacher, as a channel, as a leader, as someone who is very much leading the way and showing others through example, through maybe offering services, maybe being some kind of a healer. Maybe you're a channel yourself, or maybe you're a reader. Maybe you're some kind of a healer, or a shaman, or a wisdom holder, right? And a lot of the piles have been about people who are leaders or stepping into their kind of spiritual roles in some way or another. But for you, it's especially true with the Self card and the Venusian Galactic Council. This card really talks about light beings from Venus, right? And I'm not sure if I really believe in a Venusian Galactic Council. I don't know if you believe in that. We don't have to believe in that necessarily, but I do believe that Venus holds a certain vibration, and that Venus is an evolutionary planet in our solar system that is a school that holds knowledge and information and higher forms of consciousness that we can learn from. And I believe that Venus is a place from which many beings, many streams of consciousness come to Earth to assist us. And this Venusian card, this vibrational energy, talks about this Venusian impulse wanting you to step onto the stage, to step into your role of leadership. And when I think about Venus, I think about comfort also, okay? So this could be about you coming into a certain level of, financial comfort from your spiritual gifts. And with the Self card, it's a lot about you coming into full acceptance and awareness of all your different personality niches, right? All the different parts of your egos, all the egos that live within you, all the different skills and unique qualities that you bring to the table that qualify you to be this channel, to be this teacher, to be this leader, right? And part of that is your past, that where you had some pain, right? The wound is where the medicine is. So for you, pile number 4, you very much went through your wounded child experience in your childhood. You had some difficult things happen to you in your childhood, okay? And this is what taught you how to be compassionate and empathetic, and it's what led you to where you are now. So it's important that you went through all of those things. But I do see that there will be some continued healing that happens for yourself during this process with Go After Your Goals right above the wounded child. I think it's going to require you to have to continue the healing process on yourself, continue this process of not rejecting any aspects of yourself, not rejecting or banishing any parts of you into the shadow or into exile, right? This is very grounded and embodied and integrated energy that requires us to be very balanced in our energy field, and very balanced in general, right? Because it's really easy if we want to just be like, oh, love and light, and ascend into love and light and blah blah blah, and completely ignore our shadow and completely ignore negative emotions and spiritually bypass all of these things. But what ends up happening is eventually all of those negative emotions that you ignore or repress will rear their head in a much uglier way. It's very much about you not going down that path of repressing or ignoring, but rather fully accepting and integrating everything. And this is what allows you to be this wonderful channel, this wonderful shaman, teacher, leader, healer, whatever it is that you do. And I think there may be a process of discovery of exactly how it is that you express your gifts, because with the Self card, you have many talents and many gifts that you've acquired over many lifetimes that put you in a position now where you could pick out of many different skills that you have to be a healer of the new earth, to be a leader in the new earth. You could maybe be a Reiki healer, you could also maybe be a channeler, you could also maybe be, some other kind of a teacher or lecturer, right? Speaker of some sort. There's all different kinds of things that you could do, pile number 4. And you have to really get into a place where you can observe yourself well enough so that you can choose the very best, highest, most resonant path for you. They're also drawing me to the word star being guides here. So this Pluto in Aquarius transit is going to be a cycle where you will be getting into contact with more star being guides, where you will be, your spiritual team will have more of a galactic influence, okay? I'm being drawn to this patchwork quilt here. They're drawing me to this, and how this kind of patchwork energy reminds me of all of this in the self, all of these different colors and all of these different fractals. I really think you're going to be doing some major soul retrieval where you're calling back in parts of yourself, where you're really coming into a deep alignment and remembrance of all of your gifts, that you have so much. You really, pile 4, are so equipped, so prepared. You've been really, truly preparing lifetimes and lifetimes for this particular lifetime now, where you can bring it all together and you can have this beautiful array of skills to choose from and qualities to choose from. So let's see what your tarot has to say. The Devil, the 5 of Swords reversed, the 6 of Swords, the 7 of Swords. How interesting. 5, 6, 7. The Ace of Wands, the Queen of Swords reversed, the 3 of Wands reversed, the 3 of Pentacles reversed, and the Hanged Man reversed. Wow. So we have Capricorn and Aquarius here. That's very interesting, because Pluto was just in Capricorn and now it's moving into Aquarius, right? So you may have Capricorn or Aquarius placements in your chart. You may have a prominent Saturn in your chart as well, as both of these are ruled by Saturn. With the Devil and the Ace of Wands here, I'm really seeing that there's something about this structure in the background that they're drawing me to. It's like your goal is in sight. There's something about your, the thing that you want is now, you can see it. It's on the horizon. The version of you that you were meant to be, that you've always been working towards throughout your whole life, maybe for decades up until now. It's like the version of your highest embodiment of your truest essence is on the horizon. It's like you can see it, you can taste it, you can feel it. You've been working very, very hard to free yourself, to purify your energy, to purify your spiritual energy, and to get out of any kind of low vibrational cycles of, you know, self-sabotage or addiction or any kind of just lower energies that keep you in a state of being that is not in alignment. Remember how I was talking about earlier, the rainbow body, how your energetic body needs to be very aligned and very attuned and very in balance, right? I really feel that with this Devil and Ace of Wands, is this Pluto and Aquarius transit is going to be this very solid solidification process of this. And I think for you, it's very mental. It's a lot about the thoughts that you have, the thoughts that you permit yourself to have, the thoughts that you entertain. With the 5, 6, and 7 of Wands, there's going to be progress, steady progress, but with the clarifications in reverse, it feels to me like it's going to be progress that's hard won. With, you know, we have here, go after your goals. He's in battle, right? It's not going to be easy necessarily. And you know what's interesting is in almost all of the piles, there has been some kind of a card that is similar to this go after your goals, that it implies some kind of battle or courage or a need for persistence. So this really speaks to me that this Pluto and Aquarius transit, as we're bringing in the new earth and we're bringing in this new 5D consciousness or awakened consciousness, as we're anchoring it into our bodies, it's not going to be a linear, easy process all the time. It's going to require us to work for it. And for you, it feels like it's really about your thoughts. But here it's feeling good though with this Five of Swords reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed. It's feeling like a relinquishing of the ego, a relinquishing perhaps of the mental faculties. Maybe you're someone who prided yourself on being very logical for a certain time and period of your life, very rational, very, fact-oriented or evidence-oriented kind of person. And it feels like you're relinquishing that more analytical, maybe like logical or scientific part of your mind. And you're releasing that a little bit and you're softening into a more receptive, open-handed kind of spiritual energy where it's not like you're releasing any of that beautiful, logical, intelligent part of your mind, but you're accepting that that part of your mind, that analytical, logical part of your mind can only answer so much, can only give you so much. And you are understanding that in order to be in aligned co-creation, there has to be a very receptive, open-minded state that allows you to be flexible in your thoughts and in your ego. And change, right? And there's an interesting message coming here with this Six of Swords and the Three of Wands reversed, because both of these cards are about going somewhere new, about traveling across the ocean, across the water, across consciousness, across emotions, to get to a better place, to a new environment, to a new state of being. In the Six of Swords is depicted, you're actually in the process of leaving the turbulent waters and going into better places. The Three of Wands, you're still waiting for the ship to come for you to go. So there's going to be, what was it? It had come through, how did it come through exactly? This transit is going to be a process of you traversing the waters of your own consciousness and getting to a better state of mind, state of being, a new environment, a new experience. But there could be periods of time where it feels like you're not moving, where it feels like you are stuck. It may feel like you're actually physically confined or trapped to a certain location. But that doesn't mean you're not progressing on a multidimensional level. Just because you're not having forward movement or progress in your physical reality that's easily reflected to you or easily tangible does not mean that you're not making big moves and traveling vast distances on an energetic spiritual level. So even if you feel stuck sometimes, you're still moving forward. Seven of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. Enemies in your camp. There's going to be a process of you unearthing enemies in your camp. This could be a purging of certain kinds of... this is going to be a purging of people in your life. Learning how to do things on your own. Learning how to maybe be a lone wolf sometimes, okay? Learning how to discern... excuse me, learning how to discern who is actually on your team and who is, a wolf in sheep's clothing, so to speak. Yeah, this is very much about protecting your energy from people, places, or things that maybe at one time were part of your inner circle or alliance, and having to learn over this period of Pluto in Aquarius who your true friends are, who your true networks are, who the people that actually have resonant values are, right? Throughout this transit, you were going to be discovering that maybe the people who, when Pluto first entered Aquarius, now, 2024, 2025, There may be a certain circle of people or comrades that you have that you really resonate with. And over the years, as this is a 20-year cycle and Pluto will be in Aquarius until 2044, you're going to have to learn how to discern who is evolving at the same rate as you and who is evolving in the same direction as you towards love, towards deeper alignment with their inner being and therefore with source, the creator, creatress, the universe, whatever word you want to use for it. There will be people who throughout this 20-year cycle, at the beginning of the cycle, felt like they were going to be your pals, your comrades, your soul family for the long haul. And throughout this process, you're going to be learning like, oh wait, actually, this is not true, right? And this could especially be true with your work also. You may be going into more solo type of work. You may not be in situations with coworkers anymore. With this Hangman reverse, I'm getting a very similar message to the Six of Swords and the Three of Wands reverse, that even if it doesn't feel like even if it doesn't look like you're making progress all the time, there's going to be periods of pause or periods of forced like retreat or forced isolation or forced like hibernation or going within, that are going to be extremely vital to your process. And during these times, you are going to be actually evolving so much and gaining so much and learning so many new perspectives and coming into so much wisdom. Yeah, this Hangman reversed, it's like when the universe forces you into a situation where you feel stuck, where you don't know which way to go, where things are not progressing or moving, that's precisely when you need to tap into your receptivity, get still, and open yourself up to the natural world, open yourself up to your inner being and to your higher self, and come into the observation of all of these different aspects of yourself. Come into observation of all of your multidimensional experience. Come into observation of the truth of who you are. It's going to be unveiling itself layer by layer by layer throughout this transit. And it's going to be a very profound revolution for you. I'm asking, if there's anything else we need to know, and they're drawing me to the number 3. So maybe Pluto is going to be transiting your 3rd house. Aquarius might rule your 3rd house. I'm also kind of getting 6th house here as well. Yeah, 3rd house would make sense with all of these swords. But regardless, pile 4, you're someone who by the end of this transit, by 2044, you're going to be in a very powerful position as a like well-established teacher and channel, well-established spiritual teacher, well-established spiritual leader of some sort. And this is going to be a process that is it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be something that requires you to continue your own evolutionary process. And remember that for you, it's about your thoughts, a lot about your thoughts, not letting your mind, your rational sense of not only your rationality, but your thoughts specifically, not letting your thoughts rule you, not letting your thoughts overtake you, not letting your thoughts be the primary source of your own sense of identity yourself. You have to tap into your feelings, your body, your emotions, and your inner fire, your spiritual energy. And remember, be aware of this shadow attribute of the wounded child, right? Blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. Especially that part, resists moving on through forgiveness. This may be a big and important part of your journey with your thought patterns, is letting go of grudges, letting go of anger, letting go of judgment, letting go of any resentment you hold towards the people who hurt you in your childhood. I'm not saying you need to do this now or that you need to forgive anyone, but that forgiveness and the resistance to forgive is a shadow attribute of this wounded child that could make itself known during this transit, and it's going to be important for you to confront that at one time or another. Okay, pile number 4. I think that's all I have for you today. I want to thank you and your higher self for choosing me and this reading and this channel to bring through these beautiful, powerful messages for you. I'm so grateful to have you here with me. I hope that this reading brought you some clarity, brought you some guidance. If it was resonant for you, please consider giving the video a like, maybe a subscribe. And yeah, that's it. I'm sending you lots of love. Pile number 4. Hi, pile 5. How are you doing today? Tonight, wherever you are. If you are attracted to the 1 card, this is your message about what Pluto in Aquarius means for you. I've got some oracle cards, which we'll look at first, and then your tarot. So let's begin here. Transformation, purification, leadership, Order of Melchizedek, embraced by light, mission uncovered, don't give up. Child, nature, light attributes, friendship with animals, communication with nature spirits. Shadow attributes, tendency to abuse people, animals, and the environment. Beggar, light attribute, confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility and compassion and self-esteem. Shadow attribute, dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. And Midas, miser, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold, delight in sharing life's riches. Shadow attribute, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing wealth. Let's see if we can make this all fit. A lot of cards wanted to come out for you. So let's see. All right. Okay, pile number 5. So I'm feeling a very strong, high vibrational energy in my crown. And I'm getting drawn to this pillar of light here. I'm really feeling like you have a capacity to carry a lot of high vibrational energy. And I mean, we all do, but I think for you especially in this transit, your ability to connect with Source, with the One, with embraced by light, with this light that comes down from the heavens, that's going to be a very important part of your role. You might identify as a light worker. You might be the kind of person that with purification, transformation, and leadership, it's like your presence, just your presence in a room purifies the energy, it changes things. And I think, pile 5, you're going to be learning how to use this high vibrational energy that you can carry, learning how to carry this very high vibrational frequency and make it work for you so that you can come into a position with this Midas miser energy where entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold, delights in sharing life's riches, rather than this beggar energy. Maybe you've been in a place, or maybe this transit will be bringing in certain contrasting experiences that help you understand that you don't need to be a beggar in order to carry this energy. There might be some beliefs that you have around money and spirituality, that people who have too much money are not truly spiritual or something like that. I'm not really sure about this. Let's see. I want to get your tarot cards out and see, but wow, pile number 5. I really have to say, of all the piles, I'm feeling the strongest amount of energy in my head. And with this one card, it really, you may be someone who spends a lot of time in meditation, someone who does some pretty deep and heavy duty spiritual practices, someone who has spent a lot of time purifying and transforming their own energy. I just really feel that you're someone who's very tapped in on a very energetic level. That's very, it's not like you're necessarily like channeling or healing directly other people. It's more like you've been very deep in your own internal process, and by doing this you've gotten yourself into such a state where your mere presence is the healing, is the channeling, right? Something like that. Let's see here. The Empress reversed over the Miser card, interesting. 2 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, excuse me, 7 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles reversed, 10 of Pentacles reversed, 6 of Pentacles reversed, and the World. Oh yeah, this is definitely a lot to do with finances. Okay, pile number 5. So notice how the only cards that came out upright for you are the 2 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles talks about balancing your energies, coming into harmony on a very like practical level. The Pentacles don't really have anything to do with this very high vibrational head energy that I'm feeling with you, where it's like this deep divine union with Source and deep meditation and ability to just really be a vessel for that high vibrational light from the cosmos and directly from Source is what it feels like for you. The 2 of Pentacles has to do with our very earthly practical reality, like making sure your house is clean, making sure that you've tidied your room, making sure that you've got like good groceries in the fridge and nothing is going bad, you know, making sure you're exercising enough, making sure you're sleeping well, making sure that your routine in general is on point. And the 7 of Pentacles is a time when we need to kind of reconsider and pay attention and take stock of everything we have and look at what's right in front of us and make sure that we are making the right decisions. So I find that very interesting that those are the only 2 upright cards and everything else is reversed. And with the Empress clarified by the Knight of Pentacles reversed, it's talking to me about your need to learn how to gather resources, to learn how to take practical steps that will lead you towards your financial abundance and prosperity, from getting you out of your beggar energy into your Midas energy. Because what you have to understand, Pile 5, is that because you have this capacity to carry so much high vibrational energy and connect so deeply to God, it means you are a natural manifester. It means that by right, all of the abundance of the universe is already yours because you're already tapping into it. You're already divinely connected and united with the one, with all that is. And because of your ability to connect deeply into that and be anchored into that truth, all of the divine energy that you can carry necessarily can also be translated into practical abundance. can necessarily be translated into you having enough money to provide for yourself and for your family comfortably. But what I'm seeing here is there needs to be some work done around your beliefs, your beliefs around what it is that like your beliefs around what it means to be a spiritual high vibrational person and what it means to be wealthy or abundant or to have more than enough. Maybe you're the kind of person who was, raised in a household where you heard things like money doesn't grow on trees, right? Like that all rich people are evil. I know I certainly heard certain things along those lines that were akin to equating people with money and wealth as the money is the root cause of all evil, right? Those kinds of things. But what you have to understand, pile number 5, is that money is just like magic, is a tool that can be used for good or for ill. And it's up to us as the wielders of that particular energy to learn how to use that energetic tool in alignment with our values and morals. And because you're someone whose values and morals are obviously of a very high vibration and connected to this one source, you can earn money for yourself and have it be something that is good. Have it be something that is helpful. Have it be something that not only benefits you, but benefits those in your life and benefits the whole world. It can have the ripple effect. When you are well-resourced, pile 5, it allows you to do your work better. It allows you to be a better version of yourself. It allows you to help others around you even more. And this Pluto in Aquarius transit is going to be a big learning lesson for you around these themes of money, okay? So it might be transiting your second house. You may have Aquarius ruling your second house. Pluto might be in your second house. It might also be in the 8th. That has to do with money as well. Maybe in your 6th house, but I'm really feeling second house here. Because it's also about what you believe you deserve to earn, right? What you believe you deserve to earn. And you just have to learn how to apply your capacity to tap into all that high vibrational energy in meditation and in your spiritual practices. You have to learn how to channel that same kind of energy in your daily life when it comes to getting yourself organized, when it comes to thinking about your finances and your financial future, when it comes to dreaming up offerings that are going to be not only fulfilling for you to provide, but that are also going to be beneficial for those who receive them, and that people are going to want to pay for to get your assistance in some way, okay? You're here to be a leader and you're here to show people. I really feel that you could be a great teacher of meditation or some kind of other spiritual like yoga or practices. And I would recommend pile 5, body work, maybe qigong, yoga. It seems like you spend a lot of time in these higher chakras. Maybe you need to focus on bringing it down into your lower chakras, into your body a little bit more, integrating into the more physical plane, okay? Because with the queen, and also with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, it can be, this can be very ancestral, right? There could be perhaps inheritance that could be coming your way, but if you are out of alignment with your own living ancestors, your elders, your parents, your grandparents, if you have a relationship that is not respectful or harmonious with them, it could be blocking these inheritance. It can also be about ancestral beliefs around money, right? Like, for example, maybe your ancestors were immigrants who left a very poor country into a very wealthy country to try and make it, and had to struggle their whole lives, and that feeling of struggle is something that you've inherited, right? There's something here about the ancestors and about money and beliefs around money and getting that energy balanced and getting also your routine and alignment to where you are overall balanced, right? With the Six of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed, I really feel that in this time between 2024, at the time of this recording, to 2044, is going to be this 20-year period where you are really fine-tuning your spiritual offerings, your emotional offerings, the nurturing that you give and provide, and how you receive for that, to get you out of this position of feeling like a beggar, where maybe you're pricing yourself way too low, or maybe you're not believing that what you are providing is anyone will pay for it. But let's not forget here, pile number 5, you're connected to the order of Melchizedek, which is a very high order of high spiritual beings that are endowing you with this light from source. You are able to connect to the one. You are able to connect to the unified field, to all that is. You bring transformation and purification to others by your mere presence. Okay? So during this transit, you're going to be going through this process of fine-tuning your offerings, fine-tuning what it is that you want to do in the world, what kind of work you want to put out there, and how to get yourself out of the beggar and into the Midas energy. It's going to be a process, right? And I really feel for you, pile 5. I keep wanting to say pile 2, so that's very interesting. The 2 energy has to do with balance, harmony, equilibrium, has to do with relationship, has to do with, not compromise, not always doing things the way that you thought they should be done, but having to look at the other side of the coin or the other side of the scale and kind of balance and harmonize the energies so that there is unity and flow within the 2 aspects, right? For you, it's going to be very, very important for you to get into this balanced energy, right? Where your physical reality is just as valued and as important as your spiritual reality. Because look at all these pentacles we have on the table for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 8 cards are pentacles, and we have the World and the Empress, which are 2 cards, especially in this tech with the World, that really have to do about manifestation for me. This card here talks about world building, manifestation, creation, getting to the end of a big hero's journey or a big karmic lesson, to where you've integrated all the lessons, you've learned all the lessons that need to learn, and now you're in a position where you can take those experiences and create, dream up, build the world you want to build. This is a Saturn card too, right? Saturn is about overcoming obstacles, breaking through barriers, and building a responsible, consistent, and long-term legacy type of material presence. So pile number 5, it's very important for you to come into balance with your physical reality. Make sure during this transit that you are paying attention to your body, to the foods you eat, to the exercise that you are doing, to the sleep that you are getting, to your physical environment, your home, right? And getting into this kind of very good routine and balance with your physical body is going to help you not only channel and bring down this high vibrational energy even more than you already do, but it's going to put you in a position where you're able to really then apply all of that source energy to your physical reality and feel safe, feel resourced, feel abundant, feel like you have more than enough. You have everything that you need, and this is going to empower you even more to help others and to shine your light brighter. Okay, pile number 5. Is there anything else that pile number 5 needs to hear before we end up this message? Your spirit team wants to say that you are very protected and that you have a lot of spiritual people, like a lot of spiritual energies around you, walking with you, assisting you. So to make sure that you call on them for your assistance, call on your angels, call on your ancestors, call on your guides, call on your loyal protectors who are all around you to assist you in this process. They are right beside you and they want to help you, but you have to allow them. You have to invite them in. You have to ask them for help and surrender to their assistance after you've asked them for it. Make sure that you're calling upon your guides because they are going to be so helpful for you throughout this whole process. Okay? You are destined to step into a very abundant and financially safe, secure, and having more than you need, more than enough. By the end of this transit, you will be in a financial position that's going to be a complete 180 from where you are now at the time of this reading. But you have to make the appropriate adjustments in your daily life and in your physical reality that show that you are taking as much care of your physical life as much as your spiritual life. Okay, Pile 5? I hope that this reading was helpful for you. I'm so grateful to have you here on the channel. You are such a powerful, high vibrational being. I'm just very impressed with the amount of energy that you can carry. I really feel it so much. And I'm so grateful to have you here, Pile number 5. I hope this reading was helpful for you and it gave you some guidance and some messages that you needed to hear. And if it was resonant for you, please consider giving this video a like. It really helps me out. Sending you so much love, Pile number 5.